Hey guys, Finn here. Today I'm going to be teaching you about my approach to kickoffs as one of the current top players globally. This method is super effective and easy to use, and you'll find that the most important part to a kickoff actually isn't so much what you do in the moment, but rather what comes next. So before we begin, I should talk about some theory behind a good kickoff. While at first you may think that a kickoff that ends in your opponent's half is good, since you've covered more distance, but in many cases this is the exact opposite. Especially in twos, the last thing you want to be dealing with is their second man with full boost and complete control over the ball. So rather than rushing to push the ball forwards, instead think of your main goal as being to maintain control over the play, meaning mind games are going to be your best friend. With that out of the way, let's get into the tutorial. The first step to a good kickoff is to just boost straight forwards towards the ball. Make sure your joystick isn't facing slightly up or down to make sure that you're going as fast as possible. While you could incorporate a wave dash into it, you'll find the kickoff to be more controlled if you just boost. In the case of the long kickoff, you'll want to jump once you reach the big circle in the middle of the map and a bit more inward for the short kickoff. You'll want to time your flip so that the nose of your car hits the ball directly and as much in the middle as possible. This is going to try and prevent the ball from pinching anywhere too uncomfortable. Now the interesting thing about Sideswipe is that the way that you play from here completely depends on what happens on kickoff, largely dependent on what your opponent does. In this clip here, my car ends up lifting into the air, and so because of this, I turn my car upside down and try and prevent any movement from my opponent's follow-up. The middle of the top of your car is a very effective spot to block a 50, since you're creating a wedge with the ground and it doesn't allow the ball to travel any further. After this kickoff, I know my opponent is low on boost, and so I force them to take to the skies and swiftly shoot high for the goal. Later in this match, the 50 leads to a dead ball. Interestingly enough, a dead ball can be the most dangerous situation to be in. Because of this, I back up to give myself some time to react to my opponent's play. They had a poor recovery and wasted a lot of boost, which they then followed up with an instant jump and flick, so I knew they had basically nothing left. Because of this, I could comfortably take the ball to the roof and then bring it into the net, knowing they'll still be in the process of recovering from my own goals while I send my shot with plenty of boost to spare. Next up, here's a scenario where the ball ends up shooting to the sky after kickoff. Because I had a fast recovery, my first plan was to attempt a quick goal. However, my first touch was poor and I knew I'd get blocked, so instead I dropped it to the floor. Knowing my opponent was low on boost, I jumped for the shot and score a simple double tap. Here's another goal where I knew I'd be able to beat my opponent to the ball and could just take a free shot. When you're playing twos, you can be a lot more aggressive with your play, since a strong clear from the opponent will just end up in the possession of your teammate. This can be demonstrated here, where I just force the ball forward as much as possible to give my teammate plenty of space to read the play. Last up, I should talk about the hoops kickoff. For this kickoff, you want to aim your directional arrow at approximately this angle, holding boost down during the countdown and starting mashing the jump button as quickly as possible. The goal is to jump off the ground, flip towards the ball, and boost through to try and get the height on the 50, since that will give you more control over where it goes. If the opponent is a significant distance away, you can get away with hitting with your nose directly to apply pressure to your opponents. However, if they're as fast as you are to the ball, you'll need to go for a flip reset 50 in order to be able to quickly make a play out of it. So I hope this quick tutorial has helped you better understand how to do your kickoffs, as it's certainly been working for me. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments. I'm generally pretty good with responding to questions. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more Sideswipe content. I've just passed 100 subscribers, which I know isn't a lot, but I truly appreciate every single person that comes and joins in. And with that, I'll see you next time.